Now, in 4 days, the 1.6 trillion shilling 2013-2014 budget statement will be tabled on the floor of the August House. However, analysts are faulting National Treasury for such a huge borrowing to finance the budget. Adelaide Changole kicks off a week-long budget agenda coverage with this report.
Budget 2013-2014 in association with ICEA Lion Group.
With a gaping deficit to fill in the next financial year, analysts at PKF say the heavy borrowing required to plug the deficit could have an adverse impact on the economy.
We do feel that if this happens, then you're going to deny the business community the funds to borrow from the banks, and this is going to push the interest rates high. So the government ought to sort of manage its resources in a very prudent way.
They are also urging the government to prioritize infrastructure projects, especially those needed to actualize the country's Vision 2030 economic blueprint. They say those are key to greater economic growth in the country.
For the economy to continue picking up, those infrastructure projects under Vision 2030 will have to be funded sufficiently.
Treasury must also overhaul the country's outdated tax regime to net extra income and increase compliance. PKF also wants the country to reintroduce the capital gains tax, saying it could go a long way in bridging the budget deficit, in addition to rationalizing the tax regime that burdens the country's poor while exempting the rich.
There's absolutely no reason why a person living in Kibera shouldn't pay VAT on bread, which is really a basic necessity for him to survive. And for a rich person disposing of his house, plot, hotel, shares in a company, not to pay taxes.
The element that relates to capital growth, in other words, it's not just profits, but actual capital growth, could easily be $1 billion to $1.5 billion. In Kenya shillings, that's over 100 billion shillings.
The analysts also say that the government must open new export markets away from the traditional markets in Europe and US so as to capitalize on the high economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa. The country's tax regime has received a lot of flack over the years for being complex and outdated. With the ever-rising budgetary needs, time has come to overhaul it and put in place a simpler and friendlier system that is easier to comply with. Adelaide Changole, KTN Business Today.
Budget 2013-2014 in association